Hello everyone. So in my last video, I talked about two lawyers who represented a serial rapist and spree killer by the name of Robert Garreau. Robert Garreau murdered 4 people, 2 of whom were young women. One of them was a college student, and the other was a high school student. He repeatedly raped one of his female victims before murdering her, before stabbing her to death. And he had 2 lawyers. Their names were Frank Armani and Francis Belge. And they asked Mr. Garreau, "Did you kill those girls?" He said, "Yeah, I did." And they asked him, "Do you know where the bodies are? Can you show us the bodies?" And he said, "Yeah." He took them to the corpse of one of the women, and then he drew out a map that would lead them to the corpse of the other woman that he murdered. And they followed that map, and there was the body. They found the body. And they sort of repositioned the body a little bit, and they took a photograph of it. They took a photograph of the corpse of a woman who their client murdered. And the father of one of the victims approached the lawyers, begging them for information. And they refused to help him. They refused to tell him anything. And in my video, I said that this is the way that these lawyers conducted themselves, the fact that they not only got the confession from their client, but it was more than that. The fact that they knew where the bodies were, the fact that their client remembered with precise detail where he buried the corpses, the fact that they not only saw the bodies, but they took a photograph of one of them, and that they would still defend their client. I said that this was really a very extreme position, and just from a human standpoint, it's, to me, unfathomable. I can't fathom being in that position. I can't fathom somebody that I'm representing showing me the bodies of 2 women who he murdered. I can't fathom a client, someone that I'm representing, showing me the body of a woman who he repeatedly raped before murdering, and acting as if I'm being proper and acting callously under the title of taking orders or it's my job. I just can't fathom that. Somebody put a comment. I think you're called Jojo. It's not important. But somebody put a comment saying that I was effectively rejecting due process. And I understand all of that. I understand that the whole conduct of these lawyers was under their oath. It was under their position, their title of being attorneys, lawyers. I understand that there is a code that they have to follow, and they religiously will follow that code. But I just want to clarify something. I was really just speaking from a human level, not from a technical level or from a textbook level or from the perspective of a lawyer. I'm just speaking from a purely human level. Take due process, take the title of lawyer, take the law, whatever you want to call it, take all that stuff, all the technicalities, and just throw it out the window. And just look at the situation at hand. You know it's messed up. You know it's messed up. for someone to take you to the bodies. Like, let me show you the bodies. Like you represent me as a lawyer, and now I'm going to show you the bodies. I'm going to tell you that I repeatedly raped a woman before murdering her. I'm going to show you the body. I'm going to show you the place where I buried her. And you have to defend me as innocent, or as not guilty, or as insane, so I can get off from prison or from capital punishment. You know it's messed up. At least I know it's messed up. And I just can't fathom that. You know, you go to work, that's your job, you see bodies. Could you imagine that? I mean, speaking from a human perspective, I would feel very dirty. I would feel ugly going to work. I was about to do the quotation thing. Going to work and meeting your client who is a mass murderer. Oh, hey, Billy. Or in this case, Robert. Hey, Robert, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. So, did you kill those girls? Yeah. Show me the bodies. Sure. Here are the bodies. Francis. Okay, let's take a photograph. Francis, just pose her body a little bit up so we can see her face. That'll be great. Thank you. You can sit there and you could try to explain it as their job or as their oath or as whatever. But speaking from a purely human perspective, that's messed up. I know that's messed up. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine doing that. I don't care what context you put it in. It's like saying, imagine if your client is a pedophile and he raped and murdered a kid. And then you say, well, did you rape and murder little Billy? Yeah, I did. Oh, could you show me the body? Yeah, here it is. And you see little Billy's body. I mean, wouldn't you feel ugly? And then you go home and what? Oh, hey, honey, how was work? Oh, nothing. My client just showed me some bodies. Oh, yeah. Really? Oh, yeah. He raped one of them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Me and Francis, we took a photograph of one of the corpses. Made sure to get a real perfect pose for the photograph, for the camera lens. Oh, okay. You can say they're under oath all you want. It does not take away the human response of being disgusted. And another thing, it really indicates to me the mind of a lot of these lawyers. I mean, what kind of a mind does it take to represent someone as your client who is a mass murderer? I can understand, being a lawyer for, I don't know, a thief, someone who's been accused of thievery, someone who's been accused of shoplifting or something like that. But to go to work and your client is this person and you see the corpses and you have to act as if everything is okay. Tells me about your mentality. Tells me about the mentality of some of these lawyers. The fact that they know that this person is guilty and yet they still will act as if everything is okay. I wouldn't be able to do that. Personally, I would not be able to do that. I would not have the stomach for it. I don't have, it's not just the stomach. I don't have, my conscience is not seared. And my soul isn't poisoned. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Because I can't sell my soul. At the end of the day, I cannot sell my soul. But it reminds me of Catholic priest. Imagine somebody coming to you in a confessional and saying that they have molested a child or they sexually assaulted somebody. And you know who that person is, and you have to go to sleep with knowing that in the church, prowling around, is this person who's committed a great crime and needs to pay for it. Amazingly, many times people have told me that I should become a priest. And believe it or not, years ago, back in 2013, 2013, I, for a moment, maybe for like a few hours, actually seriously thought about being a priest. I thought about it. Maybe I should be a priest. Maybe that's my calling, right? Maybe that's my destiny. But after dealing with the priesthood personally, being sexually harassed, preyed upon by several priests, and watching as the institution of the church did absolutely nothing about it. In fact, at one point, being verbally attacked by a Monsignor who was protecting one of these priests, who was defending one of these priests. After going through that, I'm like, no. Because you see, it appears to me that the very callous nature and soullessness that is required to be a lawyer is also required in the job of a priest. I can't sell my soul. Anyway, you guys just heard some theology. God bless.